Okay, so in today's little video, what we're going to do is we're going to have a go with this stuff. It is Auto Seal, imagine the name. It is a tyre sealant. I've looked into tyre sealants before. I'll talk a little bit about tyre sealant and talk about why I'm going to use it. So first of all, this tyre sealant is different from the other tyre sealants, like example slime. This tyre sealant, which I quite liked, is a mechanical tyre sealant. And I don't know if you can read that, whether it's going to focus on that anyway. So unlike the other tyre sealants, which is a chemical type tyre sealant, which on exposure to air, so when the tyre's punctured, the sealant gets exposed to air, it vulcanizes and has a chemical reaction. This stuff is different. There's no chemical reaction. The stuff is completely inert. There's no reactions going on at all. It's actually like a stringy fibrous material, so that actually physically blocks the hole, not chemically blocks it with a plug of vulcanized slime. It's actually like a mechanical sealant. Now, how good it is at actually sealing the puncture when it's done, in the demo, the man, because we bought it at the bike show, it seemed to hold air really well. He pumped the tyre back up to like 60-70 psi after the tyre was intentionally punctured, and it seemed to hold air fine. But what's that going to be like on the move? I don't know. It's worth a go. So I'm keen to do it. I really like the product. It was a little bit expensive, but I think it's actually worth a go. So, well, the reason why I do want to use it is that this is the touring motorcycle. So on the bikes that go out for the day, they're out with the lads or just out for a ride, I'm really not that bothered. If we have a puncture, it's not the end of the world. To get the bike recovered, I've got full recovery, so I'll just have it, and then I'll just have it repaired in my own time. So I'm fine with that. But on the touring motorcycle, it's a slightly different situation, isn't it? It could be days away from home. It could be in another country. I might not speak the language. I might be at the vagaries of my international recovery, which could be horrendous. So having a puncture in the millie would be pretty bad. Also, one of the problems you've got with this is I can't just carry a normal puncture repair kit, a plugged puncture repair, because this bike is tube tyres. So that's a problem. Now I can always carry a tube or a set of tubes, and I do always carry a set of tubes when I'm out touring. It's not a problem. Or I'll just carry one tube. But you still got to get that tyre off. Trying to get that tyre off by the side of the road would be probably impossible. They're so tightly beaded on. You do actually need some sort of breaker. I'm not really able to carry tyre levers big enough to lever these tyres off, because you need good sized tyre levers. Little tiny spoons are not going to get these tyres off the rims. They're far too tight. So it is a problem. So that is one reason why I would like to do something to try and stop punctures. Another reason is that I have had a tube go at speed on a touring motorcycle fully loaded, and it wasn't pretty. The bike basically just blew the tyre straight off the rim. The bike was completely uncontrollable and the situation wasn't recoverable. The tyre came straight off the rim. It blew to pieces, completely shredded it, blew off the rim. It was a back tyre. It blew completely off the rim. And the bike just basically went down the road with a low side, and put me in hospital. So I'm not too keen on tube tyres blowing out. So that's another reason why I want to try and do it. So I'm gonna give this a whirl, see how we get on. I'll take the bike for a run, make sure the tyres are not in balance. Of course, another reason is if it doesn't work, and it makes the tyres go completely out of balance, or something really horrible happens, because it's tubed, I've lost a set of tubes. I do change my own tyres, so it's just a bit of a pain in the arse really to put new tubes in. I'm not going to ruin the tyres whatever happens, so that's another reason why I'm willing to give it a go. So we'll try it, and we'll see how it gets on. So this will be part one. I'll give the bike a run and we'll see how it is. So I've just put a mark on there, and you can see that I've just put a mark on there where I think it's about 250 mil. Let's give it a go. So that over there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to squeeze that in. Things are going in okay. So, okay. That's a bit more here, quite a lot actually, 250 mils now. Okay. Let's see how this. A little bit more. Actually, the graduations that way up actually work out okay actually. Okay, right, I think that's about right. It's raising 300 now, it's 550, so it's about 250 in there. Okay. You can see the stuff, look at that, it's weird, isn't it? You see the fibres in it, look. Ugh, weird. Okay, I'll clean that up, stick the valve in and put my tyre back up. Okay, so I've left that for a few minutes just to make sure that's all drained out of the valve. Put the valve core back in. The press is going to start up now. Okay, right. Okay, that seems okay. Right, I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes, make sure the tyre doesn't go down, that the core is firmly seated in the valve seat, and the tyre's not about to go down on me. I don't want to go flying out on the road now. Fine, I've got it doesn't hold air, so let's just stick the cap back on. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I put it in the front. Put the top back on. Okay. Okay, I guess if I had any sense, what I'd really do now is actually ride the bike now with just the back tyre done, make sure that everything's alright before I go putting it in the front. That would probably be a sensible thing to do. Maybe you should. It's quite good, and normally when you do get a puncture, you know, chances are it's normally the rear for some reason. Always seems to get punctures in the rear tyre, not in the front. Tempted to give that a run around the block now, see how it goes. Before I go out, first thing I'm going to do is check the tyre pressures. So I've just got all these flash digital gauges now. Feel like I'm in the 21st century now. Quick note on tyre pressures with these BT46s or 45s is that they must be right up at pressure. I keep this up at 42 psi because I'm normally 2 up with luggage, so I'm running these quite high. Common mistake, I see people just ride them with far too low tyre pressures in them. Modern tyres need quite high pressure, especially these bias belted ones. They want a lot of pressure in them. The worst one I ever saw was the Enfield group, the Royal Enfield group. We would insist on riding the tyres around at like 17 psi because that's what their manual said. Of course, the manual was last updated in 1952, and so they would insist on riding them and then complain that the bike white lined, wouldn't hold a line, and was just basically all over the road. And that's because they're just running them at like less than half the correct pressure. So if you do have these BT46s, 45s, or any of these modern cross-ply tyres, always check the manufacturer's website for this prescribed tyre pressure, and don't use what it says in the manual because that's not right. Oh, it's gone, but it was just on 40 psi, so I'm 2 psi lighter, but I'm going to be riding solo for now. So we'll just go and take this bike out for a quick run around the block. Oh, wrong gloves. Okay, so that's it seems okay. In fact, I can't detect any change there really. The rim's still attached to the hub, hasn't broke free. I can't detect anything. It just feels the same. Tried it at 30 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, and 70 mile an hour, and it's just fine. I think I'm just going to go ahead now and do the front. There you go. By the way, if you're wondering why I've got this the bar end looks like it's coming loose, I'm actually experimenting with different bar end weights to see what works the best. So I've got one in this side, but not one in the other side, just to see what difference it seems to make. I'm not massively convinced up to now, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, so that's done. There's not much left in the bottle. I found it was actually easier if you remove this plastic thing, shove it through the little valve in the top of the bottle here, and then do it, because it's actually blocking up in the top of the bottle there, so you have to shove that through. It doesn't tell you that in instructions, but it seems to be like a little rubber valve in the top of the cap of the bottle. Shove that through, and then it went in fine. Then there's a drop left in there. It's 550mm and it's 250, and that's quite a small wheel, tyre, whatever, so I think that's about right. There must be about 200 in there, maybe 250. That's it then. So there's a big tour this weekend. Well, not a big tour, but just a weekend tour. We'll see how the bike gets on. Hopefully it'll never be used. But I'll do part 2 and we'll have a quick check.